Good morning, YouTube! We're going to do a review today! So the first thing we're going to do is check out the mid-gain for the Crunchlab. You know why? Because it covers the most ground with what people really want to use these pickups for. And this is the Crunchlab. Very crunchy, very nice and dynamic actually. So the first thing we have to remind ourselves of is the guitar that I'm using. I have mahogany wings with a maple neck, an ebony fretboard, and a quilted maple top. And you know, the Floyd Rose is here. Mainly what you should be considering yourself with is the fact that I have a maple neck, maple top, mahogany wings. So this is more of a MIDI sounding guitar. It doesn't have that bizarre dynamic that Alder does have with the Crunchlab pickup, which is what we're going to be doing right now. But at the end of the day, you know, it's a pretty good accurate representation of wood meets pickups and the differences that you might hear. Because if you were to use a Crunchlab and an Alder bodied guitar with a maple neck, it would respond far more differently. And that's just the nature of wood and why people are so over concerned about it. So let's go with that mid gain tone, because that's what a lot of people are going to be using this pickup for. So let's play some Joe Satriani styled stuff with just the Crunchlab, not switching pickups at all. Pinch harmonics are a little harder to get because the gain isn't all the way up, but you get the general idea. The mid-gain tone is very, very sweet and very resonant and very natural sounding more than anything else, I would say. And you can obviously hear how the volume pot really commands the pickup and the output a lot more cleanly than, say, your EMG. And like I said, just very responsive, very natural sounding. Let's play some riffing because a lot of you guys are going to be into that kind of stuff. So pretty cool for a mid-gain. Now, if you want to go and add all the hair that you've got onto the tone, let me just dial that stuff in. By the magic of camera! So, with all the hair on top, all of a sudden you can get this wicked sounding, kind of almost 80s tone. If you add a little more treble as well. These pickups in the mahogany and maple body don't seem to like being overly trebly. They like to be really mid-punch, which is really fine, but you know, sometimes you gotta have some more hair. Back at the mall. So you can see what I mean. This pickup is able to achieve that 80s sound, ability to get that hair that you really want if you're a metal player, and that That note definition between the strings is really important, which a lot of other pickup companies are very, very big on. They really want to hear the definition between each string. And I quite like the definition between each string. I mean, it's not the best just because the wood option isn't exactly specific to the pickup, but that's just personal opinion. At the end of the day, I think I would like to go for something with a little less mid, because this is just a bit too much throat in the face. Not enough definition for me in the way of like, I want to hear a little bit more dynamics in that way. So that's kind of the only negative point. I really just wish it wasn't so damn MIDI, basically. But that's just because of personal preference. So you might like it in your maple and mahogany guitar. I don't freaking know. And now for a little bit of fun, we're gonna play a little bit more leady stuff. I quite like it. Now let's switch to something a little bit more fancy. So now we're gonna hit up that crunch channel for that southern growl. So it's like the mid-gain channel, as if I've rolled down the volume more than halfway. And that's just because of the amp settings. I've got the gain off at around noonish, so it's got that just enough of an overdraft to try and simulate that old kind of Marshall-y almost kind of tone. And it can really achieve that. These pickups aren't that bad at it. Now mind you, I'm not that big of a fan of crunch type stuff, so forgive me if I'm not playing the best bluesy kind of stuff, but really that might be better for the neck pickup for when I do that review. So anyway, getting back to the Crunchlab, this crunchy son of a bitch. As you can hear, the octaves that I'm playing here. You can hear the octaves. You can actually hear the two different notes, so you can. It's very pleasing, at least to my ear. And with this kind of a gain setting, that's really pleasing for me, because that means I can achieve this really nice, almost vocal sounding harmonic. I'm quite a big fan of that. That's just, you know, me, but I mean, if I'm going to use low gain, I want to make it sound interesting, because a lot of people just want to play those. Which is totally fine for those guys, but again, this is a pickup upgrade for most people, and I think that this isn't meant exactly for country rock, though it can definitely do it, as I've seen and proven here. I mean, this for example. Now for some funkier kind of, perhaps swagalicious stuff. I'm gonna increase a bit of the treble, cut some of the mids, make it a little bit more. So I put the gain from noon to 3. A little heavier. Really groovy, man. I really enjoy that kind of tone. It just makes you feel it. I can just imagine playing with the glass slide, sitting on my front porch being like, God damn. So I've got 3 PM friggin' gain right now, right? So let's try tapping a little bit. See if the angle can handle the signal output from this guitar's pickup. Yeah, that wins in my book. Clean channel time, bro. Really, really beautifully sounding jazzy tones from this. So I didn't play it perfectly, but you get the idea. A lot of great jazz, a lot of great snap. A little bit of Diablo. Let's do a little bit of finger picking because some people might be into that with this pickup. Very nice. I don't know, maybe it won't translate well with the camera mic, but gotta tell you, man, it's quite a serious pickup. Instead of the EMG 81, which used to be in the same position, I have to say there's far more dynamic and far more capabilities of tone. The fact that it can go from 0 to 100, much like a sports car, instead of being stuck at, for some reason, at 40, going to 120 with a compressed ass signal like the EMG. This is not bad, it's just, I wanted a personal change. I'm sure that you wanted a personal change, which is why you went to this review. And I will have the other review prepared ASAP. And that's all I can really promise for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you subscribe. Anyway, new review will be up soon for the liquefier, and that's going to be a lot more fun, if you can believe it.